Hello, this is MTG Tournament Grinder. So, I'm playing Goblins a lot lately, having a real good time with it, and I'm playing against a good friend, my friend Chris. I don't know he's on Burn at this point. And actually, I don't think he knows I'm on Goblins. Well, until just now. I'm just always on Affinity, so it's kind of nice to pull a surprise on some people I play against regularly. Grim Lavamancer is pretty good against my deck. Its activated ability, deal 2 damage to any target creature or player, pretty much deals with everything that I have. I would like to Lightning Bolt it. The only other option is Goblin Grenade, and Goblin Grenading a 1-drop does not feel good. Like 2 for 1ing myself. That's 2 for 1ing yourself is never good. I must have just drawn the Foundry Street Denizen, because naturally you'd want to play it on turn 1 and get all those ETB triggers. I put my hand over my untapped mountain there, as though I was prepared to say, can't be blocked. But he announced no blocks before I had the chance. Yeah, no 1-drop. I would say this is a less than ideal start for Goblins. And in this particular matchup, it's a really good start for Burn. Although, for your classic Burn start, he doesn't have a suspended Rift Bolt into Boros Charm or anything like that. Good against me, we'll say. Yeah, I'm not inclined to block here. Foundry Street is too good on the attacks. Should have blocked. I mean, would he have Searing Blaze my Frenzy Goblin instead? I'm sure he would have. Oh, it's a tough call, knowing now that he had a Searing Blaze. Ooh. Mog Fanatic and Goblin Pile Driver. Oh, that's nice. You know, I always think it's a 1-2, the same way Monastery Swift Spear is a 1-2. But I guess it's a 1-1. That Mog Fanatics, 1 for 1 isn't so bad. A 2 for 1 is just awful. I honestly love these matchups. I've played it a few times, and it's always like so interesting. Darn. I mean, that's usually the reaction. In Affinity, people will always kill your Steel Overseer. And in Goblins, it seems, people will always kill your Goblin Pile Driver. They're just so good. Like one untap step. One turn where you get to untap Unsummoning Sick is really good. And also the ETB trigger. Go to combat. Be the one side on can't block. Yeah, seems like the play. If I don't have any other 1-drops, spending the mana to make sure the damage gets through. 1 mana for 1 damage. Again, it's like I could Goblin Grenade the Eidolon. I think I saw one in my hand. But that's 2 for 1ing myself. Even if I do it with a token from Mog Fanatic, it still feels bad. And he's at 10, so at such a low life total, Goblin Grenade I think is better saved for face. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's a cheap 1-drop that essentially gets in for 2 damage if it swings and you sacrifice it. So double blocking the Eidolon. Doesn't seem that risky on my end, because Mog Fanatic's gonna die and bring back another token, so... Oh, but a Targus command, yeah, that'll make this really suck. He gives his creatures +1/+1, and then 3 to my face. So now they both die, Eidolon lives, Goblin Guide gets in for 3. 8 all. God, this is a close game one. So what do I want? If I have the Goblin Grenade, and I have 2 damage on board, and I just drew the Mog Fanatic, I think that all adds up. He's tapped out with no blockers. I just have to like figure it out and crack the code. Yep. Oh, I forgot about Eidolon. I hope I have enough life for this plan to work out despite Eidolon. Okay, yeah, this will work just barely. And then go to 2 for the home stretch here by casting Goblin Grenade. Whew, that is a close game. Well, we'll see how it goes in game 2. Well, alrighty, game 1 didn't go so bad. Here in the sideboarding, I don't have a whole lot of relevant cards, but I do have 2 copies of one card that is quite good, and that's Dragon's Claw. Whenever a player casts a red spell, I gain 1 life, and that's whenever either player casts a red spell. So there's potential to gain a lot of life in this matchup, where we're both playing Red Tech Wins style decks. And if I'm gaining a life every time he casts a red spell, that turns his lightning bolts into shocks, and his Boros charms into lightning bolts. So he simply has to draw more burn spells to kill me than he otherwise would if I didn't have this card in play. So hopefully I draw it. And at least for my sideboard, the only other relevant card that has any possibility of being good is Karizev's Expertise. And that is, take control of target creature, untap it, it gains haste until end of turn, so like a hijack style effect, and I can cast a spell with CMC 2 or less from my hand without paying its mana cost. So it's pretty cool. I think in this matchup, the ideal play, or the ideal target for Karizev's Expertise would be to steal a Monastery Swift Spear, if I'm about to go double Goblin Grenade or something like that. Really just taking away one of his blockers while getting like 2 more damage is probably going to be pretty good most of the time. Now, as for the burn player, my good friend Chris, I don't have access to his exact 75, but after editing the match, at the very end as we're de-sideboarding, I could see what he sideboarded, and it's 2 Katakis and 1 Core Firewalker. So this is actually pretty interesting. Core Firewalker is essentially a Dragon's Claw, except it's attached to a 2/2 body that absolutely wrecks my deck because it has protection from red, so I can't remove it with any of my removal spells. My deck is mono red, and for the same reason, I can't block it, and anything it blocks, if it would otherwise trade, it does not, because it doesn't deal its combat damage to the Core Firewalker. So it's an absolute house. Whichever one of us draws either their Core Firewalker, or in my case, the Dragon's Claw, first, is likely to win. And as far as Kataki, War's Wage, that's really there because he's expecting my Dragon's Claw, I guess. I don't have any artifacts main board, and the only other artifact I have on the sideboard is Relic of Progenitus. So I think sideboarding in 2 Kataki's War's Mage is like a sideboard call for my sideboard call. He knows that Dragon's Claw is almost as bad for him as Core Firewalker is for me. And I think that about does it for the sideboards for these 2 decks. So let's go ahead and jump back into game 2 and see if there's going to be a game 3 or not. Alright, well here we are, back in game 2. I ended up winning the first game just by the seat of my pants, just ever so slightly. It was a really close win. So Burn is on the play, leading with a Suspended Rift Bolt. Pretty dependable turn 1 from the Burn player. Gives him lots of options, like now if he frets my Legion Loyalist for whatever reason, which he could, depending on what's in his hand. He could choose to kill it, or he can choose to go face. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, and he's reading my creature token, the battalion part. If he attacks with at least 2 other creatures, all attacking creatures get first strike, trample, and can't be blocked by creature tokens. So the tokens clause won't be relevant in this matchup, but first strike and trample might. But alas, no beans. Searing Blaze is so good. Yep. So Mog War Marshal is a great play, although it's better if you have 3 mana. Spend 2 of it on the Mog War Marshal, and 1 of it on a Goblin Grenade, sacrificing the actual Marshal himself, and that way it triggers what's happening now. It triggers his Enter the Graveyard effect. One is summoning sick, but if I had Goblin Grenaded the Mog Fanatic on my own turn, then I would be swinging with both right now. So that's part of why that's such a good play. And the back has like the full art. Or at least I thought the back had the full art. I'm trying to show off how cool these tokens are, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. But that's okay. We're just having fun, playing between friends, just having a good time. So I'm looking at my hand there. It looks like I can see a pile driver and 2 reckless bushwhackers. I'm not sure what else. Okay, I decided the pile driver was the right play. Feels kind of bad. I'm not doing a whole lot, and I'm taking damage from the Eidolon. God, is Eidolon good here? Eidolon affects both players, though. The same way Dragon's Claw or Core Firewalker would gain life for both players' red spells. So he has to think about what he wants to play in relation to Eidolon also. Yeah, definitely didn't want to block with my Pile Driver, and double blocking with my tokens, I may get blown out by Attacker's Command, like I did in Game 1. So, blocking may have been correct, but I didn't feel like getting blown out. I think I do a Lightning Bolt this turn. Lightning Bolt, Eidolon, go to 8. Yeah, combat first, that makes sense. Try and make him use his resources before I do anything tricky. I imagine it's a removal spell, yeah, for the Pile Driver. Because it was swinging for 5 all by itself. So that's definitely the right play. Yikes, and look at these life totals. I'm at 7, he's at 16. I'm not sure what could possibly pull me out of this. If I don't handle the Eidolon, I'm going to lose. And to handle it succinctly with one spell, I would take at least 2 damage going to 5. Oh no. So with Eidolon having 2 power and I'm at 4, I have a feeling I'm just dead. Looks like 3 cards in hand, that should be plenty. Yep, Goblin Guide does it. If it was 2 Goblin Guides, I could Lightning Bolt one of them and survive. But because it's an Eidolon and a guide, there's no way I was going to win through that. Alrighty, and here we are back in Game 3. Any match that goes to Game 3, I'm pleased with. Kind of win or lose. At least fun was had by all, and we both got to do our thing, at least at one point. And I like Foundry Street Denizen right out of the gate. He is best on turn 1. And another Foundry Street. So this has the making for a really good start. Except for the fact that I just missed my land drop. That is no good. So I got in for 2, and he has fetched 17. Another fetch 16. So if he shocks, that's all the way down to 14. It's like he's me missing my land drop could be made up for the fact that he has fetched, shocked, and fetched again. Oh god, though, Core Firewalker. That's what I was talking about. Protection from red. Whenever a player casts a red spell, you may gain 1 life. Yep, so it gains a life off the Goblin Guide. Yep, each Foundry Street Denizen gets +1/+0. And I'm going to lose at least one thing, but there's no reason not to swing after getting the triggers, and it appears I'm still stuck on 1 land, so I have nothing better going on. Interesting. Chooses to block the Goblin Guide. And they're all swinging for 2 right now, so it seems inconsequential which one he blocks as far as how much damage he's gonna take this turn. But I think the Foundry Street Denizens have potential to be a lot scarier than a Goblin Guide. And a Goblin Guide might draw him lands. So, if it were me, I may have blocked a Foundry Street Denizen, but I'm not sure exactly what his thought process was there. see. So, Magical Christmas Land is I draw a mountain, and then if I Bushwhacker kicked, that's one trigger on each of the Foundry Streets. I think even if I do draw a land, it would be pretty tough for me to do 11. Unless I have double Goblin Grenade in hand. And then just swing Goblin Grenade, Goblin Grenade. Assuming he doesn't play any more creatures. Ooh, not a creature. I don't think I have double Goblin Grenade in hand. But we'll see what I draw. I think I can tell from my body language and from the fact that I didn't play a mountain that I did not draw a land. The life totals are such that if I draw a mountain soon, I don't think it's completely over. Although I can hear what I'm saying in game, and I can hear my tone of voice, and I don't sound happy. It's important to stay positive, because really we all play this game that we all love to have a good time. And so if you let yourself get down, like I think I'm letting myself get down here a little bit on the day of recording, it's still fun for anyone. You gotta try and stay positive. I'm mostly saying this and giving myself a pep talk, trying to tell myself this. But yeah, this game is not going well. Makes sense. Rift Bolt at face instead of at my creature. Yeah, and every red spell he gets further and further out of range from my lethal. Actually, I didn't think about that. I think my Magical Christmas Land scenario, where I was dreaming I may have double Goblin Grenade, that wouldn't even do it, because he would have been gaining life from me casting all those red spells. Oof, end of turn Boros Charm. That's pretty hardcore. Drop from 12 to 8. Holy crap, another Boros Charm. I have a feeling I'm going to die very soon. Swing for 2 that I can't block, he just has to have at least 2 damage. Lava Spike will do it. Well, okay, I get it, I lost. Oh god, look what I had. I did have double Goblin Grenade. Triple I must have, because I already used one. Well, that was a really fun match. Winning would have been sweet, but it was still a great match. Remember, if you guys enjoy seeing content like this, you can let me know in the comments below, or by hitting that subscribe button. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.